Hello, this is Ludwig Hitzman for GamesRadar Plus, and I'll be your disembodied voice for this new footage of Rise of the Tomb Raider. This is a small section of Lara Croft's new game, but it imparts the qualities that define the series after 2013's reboot. Firstly, you can tell that no expense has been spared in the creation of Lara Croft herself, who appears both realistic and stylized, helpfully avoiding an uncanny valley effect. She clambers up surfaces in a frantic way, and you can climb certain trees now. She stumbles through snow, her teeth chatter in the cold, and all of her movements seem hurried and impulsive. She's an action game hero at this point, but unlike so many others, she still seems like a person who only kind of knows what she's doing. That gives the action a different kind of flavor, even if, as I'll get to later, it fails to be unique in other ways. Also, Tomb Raider is really giving Destiny a run for its money in the Video Game Hair of the Year category. Number 2, big earthy tombs with impractical mechanical doors are back, yes, and they crop up in the story. Lara chases after something called the Divine Source. That's source as in point of origin, not like, God-level mustard, which is also being sought by a shadowy organization and the game's chief supplier of disposable henchmen called Trinity. Developer Crystal Dynamics is also bringing back optional challenge tombs to discover in the environments. These places, like the decrepit Soviet installation in remote Siberia you see here, aren't quite open world, but they're big enough to explore and pick clean of artifacts. You'll also encounter characters here that have special tasks and special rewards for you to complete. Now, I'm not a big fan of crafting in games, but at least it's quick and painless in Tomb Raider. With some sticks and feathers in hand, Lara can craft arrows on the fly, and if you happen to have some mushrooms, you can make poison arrows too. You'll also need bits and bobs from the environment to heal yourself, and while Lara doesn't need food to survive, she can kill this bunny to get some crafting materials. Hey, can we get a replay of that? Oh no, now it's sad. Shouldn't have asked for that. Okay, but you know what? Spare a thought for the humans in this game, too. You have the option for stealth in this game, of course, and it's actually really slick and fast-paced, often giving you the perfect moment to strike and create a bit of chaos from behind the cover. There's also not too much waiting, unless you're extremely deliberate, since the game has little setups waiting for you to exploit. You might have an explosive lantern within reach, for example, and hey, look! Those guys are conveniently standing in a puddle of fuel. You know, it really makes it seem like you're choosing really horrible or humane ways to destroy people in this game. So let's just go with a gas arrow here and get some Paragon points. Either way, this mixture of stealth and all-out action is really well framed, it's well directed and executed, though I think it also makes Rise of the Tomb Raider less unique by putting it in the company of other third-person action games with stealth mechanics, like Uncharted, and Metal Gear Solid 5, and Watch Dogs, and Assassin's Creed, and The Evil Within, etc. Finally, it's hard not to notice that modern Tomb Raider, as we see it in Rise of the Tomb Raider, is an extremely violent game. Lara Croft is a different character now, sure, certainly more hardened than she was in the first game, and even her old versions were obsessive and ruthless. Ironically, it's when you move the action outside of solemn tombs to places like the Soviet installation, where Lara Croft looks like an attacker sneaking in and killing people, more so than defending herself, that the game takes on a much darker tone. Now, from what I've seen, the story goes to extreme lengths to paint this Trinity organization as evil, but it's still really gritty for a game about treasure hunting. And that's why I think you should start if you're on the fence for Rise of the Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is different and darker now, and the balance between action and the isolated exploration of the old games has been irrevocably changed. I happen to like action games in this style, so what I've played here does seem smartly executed and polished and dramatic, but part of me is also making peace with the fact that Lara Croft's old self won't be ready for a comeback until this Tomb Raider rises to its old prominence. Rise of the Tomb Raider is out on Xbox One on November 10th.
Alright folks, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more great GR Plus videos, well, our YouTube page is right over here, and if you want to get your READ read on, the GR Plus website is right over there.